Good morning, YouTube.
Morning.
Good morning, John.
How are you?
Thank you for joining us for another update at Wiki Up. No, we're so glad you're back. We're so excited about today's progress. It is a beautiful day, a favorite kind. No wind so far for the most part. We do have forecasts for weather tomorrow, which will be a little less comfortable, a little less non-windy. So we're gonna save some of our inside work for tomorrow. And today, and probably for the duration of this video, I'm assuming, because I bet it's gonna take us a long time, we're gonna be trying to bust out lots of progress on this house site. So we're hoping to finish at least another layer. We did in the last update, we did this section and that section over there, and I was struggling. Today I've had my coffee, I can count, I've had my rest, I'm doing great, I'm ready to go. So you're gonna see us up here getting prepped in a few minutes. We also have a scheduled AB delivery, so we're gonna try to really bust out most of this AB. Our next delivery we're having placed over there because there's another thing that we'll be working on out here, and we need this out of the way. So there's a semicircle kind of shape that we have to mark out here later on, and we kind of need to get that out of the way. So we're going to be working on using up the AB, building the walls higher. I'd love to get above ground, above grade today, and we're also going to be getting a delivery. So we're doing all that with beautiful weather, and I'm very excited about that. So please stick with us today. We'll be catching you back here in a few seconds, starting off our prep work. All right, John is starting our mixer. We're ready to roll. I am preparing bags over here. I'm using that roll first. Remind myself, I kept doing it mixed up yesterday. I was tired. So I'm gonna get prepared. We did the 2 short bags the last time, and now I need to look at my seams to see which bag comes first. So I can go this way on this seam and make this bag, but I can't do it because I gotta go fully over, and I want to, anywhere there's a seam, I want to crisscross it. So before I do that bag, I'd have to do this bag, and this bag goes all the way from there. I need to cross a seam, cross a seam, cross a seam, cross, and cross. So this bag could be next, or if I look at the back, I need to go this way on this one, but I'd have to stop before I get to this because I need to do that bag first. So I can't do that bag next. I can't do this one. I could do this bag, which goes here, and there's a cross, and a cross. So I think I'll start with the short bag. It's the furthest away from our mixer, so that the more tired we get, we'll get closer to the mixer. Strategic stuff here. So I'm going to start by preparing for this bag, and then we'll move on to this very, very long bag next. So to do that, I have to figure out how to get dirt to this area, and that's actually pretty easy because we can wheelbarrow all the way around to the back of the house without crossing ditches and come in right here. So no other prep, but since I got no prep for that, I'm going to go ahead and move this ramp because it's going to be in my way of this bag. So I would like to access this end and that end, so I'm going to move this ramp over there so that the wheelbarrow can come in, cross over, give me dirt here. I can get the wheelbarrow here, and then they'll cross over and give me dirt down there. So that's the thought process, discombobulated as it is. I'm going to move this ramp, get out of my way, and I'm ready for 2 sections of bag to be laid. If you've seen me do this, this is just a wheelchair ramp that I used to have for wheelchair use. This one's got some crud in it, so it doesn't bend as easy as the other one, but it just folds up into fourths. It's made of aluminum. Now I take this and put it over here. This one's light enough where I'm just gonna pick it up and take it over here. So we're gonna do that, and I will catch you when I'm ready to do some bagging right back there. All right, we have made it to the end of our first row, and I've talked before about how my corners are high. I'll show you that in a minute. But one of the ways I'm kind of alleviating that and leveling it off as we go, when I get to the end with a corner in it like this, and I'm supposed to turn it, usually John and I do this, but I'm in the way of the camera. So I'm trying to put less material in this so that when I tamp it, the slope of the bag will kind of taper off and level out that corner. So I took the bucket off. I'm very close. I almost undershot it again, John.
Looks good.
Thank goodness I made it. And then I'm just gonna put a little bit more. I'm kind of testing out before we tuck this under how thin it'll go once I start tamping it. So I think I'm gonna put one more scoop in. And then we can flip it over. So to flip it, it is easier with two people. Usually John is where I am, and I'm kind of throwing the material back at myself like this, and then I want to put my fold down here and tuck it under. So I tie the other end when we start, but this end we just put a nice tight twist in it, because again, this is going to be under this layer and then under like 20 more layers. I haven't even counted yet, so it's going to be well contained. When I push that back over it, and it's under there. Now we can tamp it. I'll show you what that looks like. Once we get up here to tamp, I can spread this one a little thinner than the rest of the bag. So we're going to show that. I guess I'll show. John, do you want to do the final tamp?
Yeah.
And I'll show what that looks like.
Sure.
I haven't really tamped back here. Let me get the camera at a little better spot. I flipped the camera. I'm better using it from the other side. So I'd made it this far with tamping, and John's doing the final tamp, actually the first tamp here too. And I just tamped that a little bit to preliminary do it. So I want to keep the thicker part of material back here where he is, and generally slope it down so that the level will pick up. And then the next bag, I'll do that one more time. See, it's just a little thinner down here than it is back here. So that's what I'm working on. Every time I do a layer, when I come to these corners that I packed with gravel, I'm making the corner part, just that last part, just a little thinner, and then it thickens up after that and slopes on back. So that's our first bag, which is exciting on today's video. And the next corner that I'm going to be dealing with is actually this one, and you can see that slope up, right? So this time when I do a bag over here, I actually have to start this way and do the back bag. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make a really thin bag there and fatten it up as it goes across. And then this next bag, it'll start right here and go over. And I need the fattest part of the bag to be there, and it needs to taper to here, so that'll level that off. I want this next layer to kind of be in line right around the top, maybe even over a little bit over the top of these boxes. I achieved that on this one that John's on that we just did. And this bag is a little high here, so I'll be a little high on this one. But this bag, if you can tell, I have to start by going this way, and I'll have a tiny gap right there like I did below. And so I'm going to take the next bag all the way, make a big bump here, go over the top of this one for the next run. So that will be encased on my next run up. So we're making progress. This is the kind of, it's a super simple way to build in many ways. It's labor intensive, but it's there are some thinking parts where you got to kind of plan ahead for your ramps and your access when you've got ditches. And then when we get above walls, we'll plan ahead for access to materials and get it up high. We got to plan ahead for leveling and getting things right the way we want them. So that's what we're working on. It takes a little time, but it's still a very simple way to live, to build and live with your, building stuff out here. So I like that. I'm going to quickly, before we start this next one, I have to run over to the car because I got to get, or to the house, because I got to get my checkbook. We're getting our AB delivery. So I'm very excited because we're running low over here. we're gonna start scraping this back pretty soon, but we've got very little left. So I'm gonna walk over here, get the checkbook and be ready for rock delivery. And then I'm gonna be back preparing bags for the longest one in the house, which is that middle wall that goes through our threshold and through all of the 5 rooms of the whole place. So be right back with you in a few. All right, you hear that big noise climbing our hill. They brought the little truck, which I really like because we have a little more options as to where to put things. So he's gonna come and dump it right here in just a couple minutes, and then we'll have a new workstation from there over to here. Let's see. After rock delivery or AB delivery, we took a break and had some lunch, and now we're coming back out to get at it. I still have my bags wadded up because he came right as I had them cut. So I'm gonna get that ready on the bucket, and we're gonna do the longest wall in the house, which is this wall with multiple buttresses in it and all of that. So we'll get started on that, and then we'll be filling, and then we'll have short bags to go. I think you can see from this angle pretty well though, the high corners that I still have. So we're working that out slowly but surely, working out these 2 high corners. I want those corners to be high because of overflow. I wanted there to be extra compacted gravel underneath it essentially. So I'm working it out in the bag as we go up. So I'll get to that. You'll see what that looks like real fast, and then we'll see what comes next. All right, we have our new AB pile over there. You saw that delivered earlier. This is our old pile. We are very close to finishing it. And we got the two long bags done in the last section you saw. And my hope today, before that sun drops completely over there, it is very close, I'm gonna work on gathering up. I've got my flat square shovel. I'm going to work on gathering up some of this AB that's kind of this thick on the surface so that we don't waste it. It's usable material. I want to put it in the pile so we can use it in the morning for the next round of bags, and then we can be closer to moving over to that section. I'm going to be clearing this because we haven't talked a lot about it, but there's going to be an exterior courtyard in this area, and it's going to be walled in by a half wall semicircle. Excuse the wind, it's picking up. And that half wall semicircle will also be working as buttressing for this wall and that wall over there. So I want to get all this clear and back down to native soil that was leveled professionally, so I know it's flat, so that I can mark that and begin my rubble layer so that I can tie that in, because once we get above grade, which we're very close to doing, we're going to be tying this semicircle wall into our bags, into the wall, and I need to be ready for that. So I'm going to spend a little time right now before the sun sets doing that and getting that prepared. You may have noticed we had a guest join us for the last portion. Ooh, the wind. I'm so sorry. There goes my buckets. Oh, man. You may have noticed that we had a guest join us for this bag portion, and that was Jessica. She's one of our neighbors that lives nearby. You've seen her in other videos. She's building with Hyperadobe as well. And part of being out here, as we've talked about before, is learning something that is not, it's not like your standard building. So we're trying to learn it. The best way to learn it a lot of times is to go and do it and help each other. We were helping each other in a couple of videos back, and she's coming again to help us here and also learn so she can be ready for her build that's starting very soon. So that was Jessica. Very helpful. Thank you, Jessica. And so you're going to see me over here working, and we'll see what that looks like right about now. All right, final look. You can see I made it down to the native soil. It turns to this like more red colored clay. So I've got at least like 3 or 4 batches just off this section. So waste not, want not. I'm glad I picked it up. And then as we go through tomorrow and we move the mixer closer, then I can get this area that's back there as well. And then we'll move the boulders out further, and there's more under there as well. And back in this area, it just kind of spreads with the rain and stuff. So that'll get us the native soil, easy marking, easy layering, easy leveling, and we get to use the material. So I'm glad I did that. Well, we got these long bags done. Tomorrow we'll be working on these north-south bags. I doubt that'll be on this video because I think it's getting a little long already. We'll be checking in next week for you guys. I don't know how many days we'll put on tomorrow's video, but I made it before the sun completely set. It's going to be a pretty one, I think. So I'm going to get ready to go walk my puppies around and sit down a while. Moving dirt is a lot of work, but it's very satisfying to be able to build this way. I'm very excited to see the progress in the house. I hope you enjoyed seeing the progress as much as I did. Hope you liked the video. If you did like it, please like the video with a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you back here next week for hopefully even more progress on Wiki Up Knoll. And I'm gonna go walk these puppies. Look, they're waiting on me. Can you see them in there? They are so ready. Oh my goodness. Hey puppies. Hey buddies. They're like, come on. I'll walk these guys and see you guys next week.